How sexual sinners suffer in hell. Hell is shaped like a human being, and at the center of any human being, whether it's a male or a female, there is the genitals. This place in hell is called the Genitals Valley. Torture has been perfected here. The expressive frame of torture is beyond reason, description, or imagination. Surely this place was not made for humans. Hell was made for the devil and his angels. Yet hell has enlarged herself to accommodate all types of sinners and offenders. The sexual offenders have claimed the biggest department in hell. The Valley of Fornicators, or the Genitals Valley, stretches endlessly into the darkness and the flames. This valley has millions of lost souls who died in their immorality and sexual sin. All manner of sexual sinners are here, and they are categorized into various groups of pornsters, lesbians, adulterers, homosexuals, pedophiles, etc. Their pursuit for pleasure on the earth is sharply contrasted with what they must go through here as a punishment in terms of gruesome torture. Chopped fingers. The fingers of pedophiles are being cut into pieces. Why? These are the fingers that they used to finger small girls as they pursued to deflower them. Demons cut their fingers and toss those fingers into the flames. Then they are told to go and look for their fingers in the flames. Oh, how they regret their former ways, but it's too late to amend their ways, for judgment has fallen. Cut out tongues. They cut out the tongues and the lips of fornicators and those who engaged in sensual adventures of kissing, careless kissing of people they were never married to. Demons are found hiding the tongues and the lips of the victims whose they cut off these members, and they also tell them to go and look for their tongues and lips in the flames. This is your reward for hunting for kisses among the forbidden. Chopped genitals. The demons chop off the male genitals and pile them in a heap of flesh, bleeding flesh. Some nasty demons mix them up and taunt the suffering men to come into the mess and look for their genitals or male members among the many that are already there. It's a sorry sight to behold how these bleeding men scramble for their genitals. They are in pain and they are frustrated as they look for their genitals in the pile of many others. Fights often break out among these men because many can't seem to locate their dismembered genitals. When these men fight, demons laugh their heads off. What a pity. Raped girls. There are scattered scenes all over the place where demons are raping women of all shapes and sizes. Rape by demons is beyond any rape cases ever reported on earth. It is beyond what soldiers do when they are overturning governments and coups. Rapes in hell are extremely violent and rough. There is no pleasure in hell for the demons who rape the women too. Both the demons and the women suffer a pain, but this mad exercise are necessarily to torture the fallen human souls. Demons use sharp nails to finger the girls in their privates first of all. They insert their crooked fingers in the intimate cavities to cause maximum pain. The girls scream to no avail. The screams of the tormented souls is the only music in the corridors of hell. still manhood fallacies. Once these demons are through with their sharp nails messing up the private parts of women, they rape the bleeding maidens with large erect penises which are made of steel. These horrible demonic metallic manhoods are made of strong metal. These metallic shafts enters into the depths of the women, cutting her into pieces, completely severing the hips and the pelvis through the cervix. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Even so, the private parts of these women get together again for continuous rounds of this madness in suffering. Snake penises. Other rape demons use snake penis to rape the girls in hell. The penises of demons are angry snakes which are alive in every way and appear like dragons about to strike. The moment before the rape is the most terrifying for the girls who must go through this ordeal. These demonic members have a life of their own once inside the private parts of the raped women. These snakes travel inside through the cervix into the stomach and come through the mouth of the victims and fork out their snake tongues in glee. They seem to be happily enjoying what they are doing to these women. This is the kind of rape you can never get used to. No matter how many times you're raped like this, every time the terror is as fresh and raw and traumatizing as ever. You've never seen anything like this. Hell is real. Save yourself. Women speared with darts and spears. In another terrifying scene, demons are playing darts with spread out, crucified women whose genitals are the targets of their demented torture system. The demons use spears and sharp objects like darts aimed to cause maximum pain upon impact once they land on the intimate places of these women. These demons have been practicing their craft and they don't miss their soft targets. Every time the spears get to their targets, the screams that rend the air are unimaginable. These women are bleeding from their genitals and demons don't get tired of torturing them like this. These women beg for mercy, but that's a language demons don't understand. Mercy is unknown in hell. Bend over. There is a place where men who practice sodomy and homosexuality are forced to bend over and demons insert hot rods in their anus. They jump. These men jump and howl and scream obscenities to no avail. Their rears, their bottoms have been brutally destroyed by these burning acts. These men are forced to have sex with each other until they drop down in exhaustion. But even then, they can't be allowed to rest. They are beaten up to get up and continue with their mad orgies. Roasting burnt privates. There is a place in the Genital Valley where the lesbians suffer, and the suffering is no better than the one of sodomites. The demons cut out their lips, their tongues, their breast and private parts. Then these organs are collected together in big pans, and demons force the lesbians to roast them over the fires of hell. Then the demons force feed the terrified, disfigured girls on their own organs. Once their organs have been roasted, once the force feeding is over, the lesbians become whole again and their organs are in place. But the exercise must be repeated. The moment of rest before the next round of being mutilated and their organs roasted is too fearful to relate. The girls are shaking in their boots. This is calm before the storm. Big giant rats. There is a place in the Fornicators Valley, the Genitals Valley, a place where pornsters are all naked, both men and women. They are forced to act out lewd acts and sins as they did on the earth, and as they are doing the same, they are interrupted by big devouring rats which are set loose on them. These rats have minds of their own. They only eat and chew the genitals. The screams of these men and women when the giant rats are upon them is senseless bedlam, madness, sheer terror, screams without end. No one can bear these beasts of hell. These giant rats have the shape and the strength of bulldogs. They have an attitude that seems to say, woe, woe unto you for coming and landing in this place. Worms. Their worm dies not. Big worms, vile worms crawl all over sexual sinners like a snail with slime. They are stinking, the rotten worms, yet these worms are strong. These worms cover all their bodies. They emanate from their genitals. These worms are always part of every torture, and they never leave fornicators for once. These worms are a reminder of death and doom. The sexual sinners are conscious that they are dead. These living parasites are the badge of honor in hell. These parasites, these worms, are to remind the sinners that they are lost for eternity. The paradox is not lost to the sinners, for the dead have living worms living inside them to remind them that they are dead and rotting and continually rotting. Naked city. All the dwellers here are naked, and their shame grows daily. They can't cover their nakedness, and they can't escape their guilt forever. Their regrets are visible and audible because they keep lamenting loudly for all to hear. Demons make sure that. Demons humiliate them further by beating them, asking them to scream why they are in hell, why they landed here. These demons laugh, saying, we deceived you, we deceived you, we deceived you. Damaged goods. The concept of damaged goods is true about our genitals in hell. Those who corrupted God's temple on earth come face to face with demons whose specialty is in inflicting maximum twisted justice for the errors of the flesh. Due to constant assault on the genitals of both men and women in the Genitals Valley, the same are swollen, bloated, rotting, and mutilated. You will see a swollen large penis falling off because it has been stretched and beaten and tortured and cut up. The same is true for the ravaged female genitals. They are swollen, cut up, badly rotting, and smelling foul. The genitals have become a curse in hell. They are the objects of great ridicule because on earth they were the centers of pleasure, but here in hell they are the city of pain. Devil's wrath. The devil's wrath is directed onto the genitals, both the penis and the vagina, for very crazy reasons. The circumcised immoral man in hell is in trouble because God chose to place his mark of the covenant on the male member. The devil hates the penis for this reason. Woe unto you if you are circumcised, because it's God who said to Abraham that he needs to circumcise. And a vagina that gave birth is hated too, because it's from here where God brought forth the Redeemer, and this Redeemer who crushed the head of Satan. Because of the childbearing potential of the vagina, the devil hates the woman's private parts. In hell, these genitals are the places where the enemy concentrates all his anger to spite God and the population that came to hell. How shall it be spoken? How shall people be warned not to come to this place? Oh, that you should not come here.